What's going on, IE Sports Radio fans? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another awesome edition of the, of the awesome professional wrestling podcast, the best professional wrestling podcast online today. It is the IE Wrestling Show on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. What's good, everyone? I hope everyone's having a fabulous Tuesday morning in the, on the Pacific side of things. If you're here on the Central side and Eastern side, good afternoon to all of my fans listening live. I do appreciate everyone tuning in live to this awesome edition. We got a lot to talk about today. Please, before we get into it, don't forget to show some love to IE Sports Radio. Go on the X and follow IE Sports Radio. That's at IE Sports Radio. That's the main hub for all of our shows online, where you can find links to every show as they're going on live after they have already aired. If you missed the live viewing, please don't forget to follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Don't forget to follow me, please. And also check out our awesome website at iesportsradio.com. You can join for free. That's right, for free. And you can interact with a lot of the hosts for all of our shows. You can read blog postings. You can interact with us by responding to questions in blog postings as well. Read up on some of your favorite IE Sports Radio hosts. See some of our former guests, the Hall of Fame of IE Sports Radio. Check out past and present episodes of every show that we have under the IE Sports Radio banner, including the one you're listening to now, IE Wrestling Show, of course. And also, please throw some shekels our way if you'd like what we do, and buy some merch. Buy some official IE Sports Radio merch. Please do. The holidays are coming up. If your husband or wife or son or daughter is a big fan of what we do here at IE Sports Radio, please surprise them. Tell Santa to bring them some IE Sports Radio merch this season. Also, do yourself a favor and go to planetjerky.net. Go to planetjerky.net and buy yourself some 100% premium brisket beef jerky. Mwah! It is so delicious. It's good. It's good for you. Check it out. Go to planetjerky.net and copy yourself some delicious beef jerky. Planet Jerky. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh! Yeah. So, man, a lot of stuff has happened over the weekend. Big shocking news. You'll see the name of this episode is 2024 is going to be Total Nonstop Action, and that is definitely a pun / a play on words, because over the weekend it was announced shockingly, to the surprise of many, that Impact Wrestling will be reverting back to its former name, TNA Wrestling. That's right. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling will return in 2024. So let's jump into that. Well, before we get more detailed into that, let's go over the results of Bound for Glory, the biggest pay-per-view event. Basically, this is their WrestleMania. This is Impact Wrestling / now TNA's WrestleMania. So Bound for Glory was alive this past, I believe it was this Saturday. It was this past Saturday. That's right, this past Saturday, October 21st, from Cicero, Illinois, at the Cicero Stadium. An sellout attendance of 2,500 fans in the suburb of Chicago. Bound for Glory put on an awesome show. From the reviews of everyone that tuned in, that I was following online as I was at work. I could not watch it live, but I went back and watched a replay. Everyone was talking about it on the X, though, as I was during work. It seemed like the pay-per-view itself got a lot of rave reviews. Every match seemed to be well-received, especially the one of the big main event matches, which was between Will Ospreay and Speedball Mike Bailey, which was definitely one of the highlights of the night, according to many I saw online. The first match that took place at Bound for Glory was actually on their version of a pre-show. MK Ultra, Masha Slamovich, and Killer Kelly successfully defended their Impact Knockouts World Tag Team titles against Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz, still the reigning defending Impact Knockouts World Tag Team champions. Then we kicked off with a big dream match, one of the biggest matches that was announced for Bound for Glory. This is how the pay-per-view started, with Chris Sabin successfully defending the Impact X Division Championship against New Japan Pro Wrestling / Bullet Club member Kenta. And it was an awesome match. It went 11 minutes and 28 seconds. These guys went real back and forth. You could see the strong style of Kenta versus the high-flying style of Chris Sabin really gelled well together. These two put on an awesome, hot match to start off the night. It was a hot crowd, 2,500 strong in the Cicero Stadium. This is what I feel like. Somebody online was talking about the attendance for Impact / TNA, and Impact. They always do a lot of small venues. They do a lot of convention centers and these so-called small town stadiums where it's more condensed. It's more, I would say it's definitely more intimate is the best way to put it. It's a more intimate setting because it's not a big arena. And that was something that's probably something that Impact should have been doing a long time ago. I remember the one and only time I ever went to a TNA wrestling show, which was with my buddy Tony back home in P-Town, Paris, California. Shout out, Tone. I miss you, man. Being here in Texas and all, and you still being home in California. Shout out to my little brother there. But anyway, I digress. Me and him actually bought some tickets to go see TNA when they randomly came to California. It wasn't even really well promoted because I found about it literally the day of the event. I was in college. I called him. I didn't have any classes the remainder of the day, and I was like, "Hey man, you want to go to the show? They still have tickets available." I remember calling the arena. This was when it was barely built. I don't think they had been open very long. This was the new arena that they had built in Ontario, California. Damn, I even forgot the freaking name of the place. Like, it's been so long. Because I think it's a different name now. But at the time, it was something totally different. I called the actual box office and asked them if they still had tickets available. And the lady kind of, I should have known better because the lady kind of smirked. I could hear literally the smirk over the phone. That's how bad it was. And she kind of giggled. It was like, "Oh yeah, we still have tickets available." And I was like, "Sweet." I thought she was just kind of yanking our chain, But me and Tony went and got some tickets. Front row, mind you. We were literally like the third or fourth row from ringside. Maybe not even that. I think we were probably even closer than that. We were like maybe the second to third row. I mean, we were really damn close to the ring. I mean, I could see, I could if I reached out, I could touch the guardrail. That's how close I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were dead ass ringside. And it wasn't the whole arena. It was only half of the arena, and they couldn't even sell out all of that. It was really intimate, but it was such a big arena that it was kind of sad that this was happening because a lot of the guys that were on the show were guys that were seen on TV week in and week out, and some of these guys were former WWE guys. The main event at the time was AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. So I got to see Kurt Angle wrestle live in WWE and during his time in TNA. And they put on a hell of a show. It was fantastic. They made fans feel fantastic. Merch was cheap. They did autographs after the show was over, where the locker room came out and kind of mingled with the crowd, took some pictures. I still have my TNA program from that event, which has the signatures of the current Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Samoa Joe. I got Eric Young's autograph. I got Curryman, a.k.a. Christopher Daniels. I got his autograph as well. It was a great night. It was fun. I had a really great time. But that was something that I feel like they should have been doing a long time ago, was having these more intimate type of shows where they start booking themselves into smaller places. And I went off on a tangent to get to my point. My point is, I saw somebody talking about AEW, which, I'm kind of like whatever about at the moment, really. Week in and week out, we keep seeing these diminished attendance. Like, it's these arenas are becoming half full, quarter full, not even full. Like, I mean, it's looking really sad. There's whole sides of arenas that are totally tarped off. And you got WWE doing their biggest business ever. Last night they were here in Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center, the home of the Dallas Stars and the Dallas Mavericks, where they sold out completely. There was not an empty seat in the arena. They are completely sold out. There's another thing about Survivor Series attendance that I'll touch on here in a little bit, but I digress. I mean, the upcoming Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia sold out in minutes. There is not an empty seat in the house for that big stadium show next weekend. So, my point is, I feel like AEW, even though they view themselves as the secondary, I'm sure they view themselves as the top promotion, not the secondary promotion. Of course, with a fucking egomaniac like Tony Khan at the helm, thinks that he is the number one wrestling promotion in the world. Newsflash, he's not. That's more than just opinion. That's fact. He should really consider booking smaller venues for his shows, because it's looking really fucking ridiculous that you have this big notion that you are the biggest wrestling company in the world, this inflated ego of yours, but you cannot sell out weekly television shows. You can't sell out pay-per-views. It's not looking good. It doesn't come off as good. Yes, you sold out a huge stadium show, your first ever, in London. You had to go overseas to do that. And the reason why that happened is because the UK is starved for wrestling. They want awesome wrestling. And not that they don't have their own, but they're starved for big stadium shows like that. They want the WWE to go there and do another one like they did Clash at the Castle. That was a huge event. That was a sellout. And then you got All In London, where that ended up being a huge sellout as well. Or in Tony's mind, it was a sellout when it really wasn't. But that's neither here nor there. But I feel like it would come across a lot better on television if they start booking smaller venues to start working in. I know one of those smaller venues that they've actually just recently announced, tickets go on sale this week for AEW Dynamite / Rampage. It'll be live Dynamite, and they'll be filming the Friday episode of AEW Rampage on December 3rd, I think. I have to look that up. It's in December, but it's been announced for my backyard here in Arlington, Texas, just about 20, if that 30 minutes away from me, probably less than that, really. It's about a 20-minute drive to Arlington from where I currently live here in Fort Worth. And they'll be live at the UTA arena for the college, the local college there, University of Texas at Arlington. I've actually been there before for a TNA pay-per-view. That was my second TNA pay-per-view, or second TNA event I ever went to. The very first one being that live event that I went to with my buddy Tony. The second one was actually a pay-per-view. It was Slammiversary, and that arena is not very big. It's actually quite small. I'd say it's maybe like an 8,000 seater, if that. And they could, at the time, TNA was not doing very good business, and they didn't sell that out either, unfortunately. So I don't know if AEW was going to be any better, but AEW is booking that arena for their weekly television show. So hopefully, maybe things will start turning a new leaf for them, and they could actually sell that out for the December date. Anyway, enough of Tony Khan and AEW. Let's further discuss what's been going on. The rest of the Impact Bound for Glory pay-per-view. The following match, the second match on the official card, which would actually be the third match of the night, was PCO defeating Moose, Rhino, and Steve Macklin in a Monsters Ball match. I feel like that's one of the signature matches of Impact Wrestling / TNA. Definitely a signature match that was first booked at a Bound for Glory, the very first Bound for Glory. That's a tradition. I feel like they should uphold that tradition, and every Bound for Glory should have a Monsters Ball match. Tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team titles. ABC of Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin defeated the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel to win the Impact World Tag Team titles. We crown new Impact World Tag Team champions in this match. Definitely, this was leading up into the next match I'm about to talk about, the match of the night, according to some online. This was definitely the match of the night, according to everyone that I saw talking about Impact Bound for Glory online. Will Ospreay defeated Mike Bailey in a one-on-one dream match, another NJPW versus TNA talent, where NJPW scored the win on this one. Jordan Grace won by last eliminating Bully Ray, the 20-person intergender Call Your Shot Gauntlet. The winner receives a trophy and a contract they can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship match of their choosing. These were the participants as follows: Jake Something, Eddie Edwards, Kenny King, Juventud Guerrera, surprise entrant Juventud Guerrera, former WCW and WWE Cruiserweight champion, Johnny Swinger, Giselle Shaw, Jordan Threat, Killing King, Sonny Kiss made a surprise entrance into the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Sonny Kiss, a former AEW wrestler, now a free agent. I don't know if he's signed officially with Impact or not, but he made his very first appearance for the company in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Bully Ray, former two-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Matt Cardona, the King of the Indies himself, was a surprise entrant into the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Jordan Grace, the eventual winner, came in at number 12. Eric Young, a former multiple-time Impact World Champion. Joe Hendry, Brian Myers, Heath, Frankie Kazarian, whose wife, Tracy Brooks, was inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame earlier that evening, along with the iconic commentary duo of Mike Tay and Don West. So that was really awesome to see. Rich Swann, the former Impact World Champion. Jonathan Grisham, former Ring of Honor World Champion. And last but not least, Dirty Dango. For those who don't know, Dirty Dango is actually former WWE superstar Fandango. So yes, those were the entrants in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. The winner is former Impact Women's World Champion Jordan Grace, Big Mama Pump. Or Thick Mama Pump, I forgot. Yeah, that's what they used to call her, Thick Mama Pump. The second to last match on the card, which was one of the other big main event matches that was announced, a singles match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Trinity defeated Mickie James to retain the Impact Knockouts World Championship by making her submit to that, I forgot what the hell she calls her submission hold. I think it's like some sort of inverted armbar type of thing. I really can't remember what the name of it is called. It's been so long since I've seen Trinity wrestle. But yes, Mickie James said to be winding down her career in Impact. Rumors going around that she may come back to WWE and join her husband, who is the current SmackDown general manager, Nick Aldis. But time will tell with that. And the main event, Josh Alexander challenged Alex Shelley for the Impact World Championship in a 22-minute, 32-second classic. Awesome, hard-hitting match. But Josh Alexander just fell short. And Alex Shelley is still your Impact World Champion. But not for long, because not only is the titles are going to be changed, the names of the titles are going to be changed, and the name of the company will be changed, because before the event was all over, after the event was all over, it was announced via a damn near 4-minute video that featured current talent on the roster and the famous voiceover of yesteryear from TNA's past, TNA. We're back. That's right. It was announced that, and here's the official press release, guys. Welcome back, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. TNA returns on January 13th, 2024 at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. Anthem Sports and Entertainment, a global multi-platform media company, announced today that its professional wrestling company, Impact Wrestling, is returning to its iconic Total Nonstop Action Wrestling name at Hard to Kill, its first pay-per-view event of 2024, which will originate for the first time ever from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. The announcement was made Saturday night at the end of the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which aired live around the world in front of a standing room-only crowd in Chicago. TNA will launch and 24 with Hard to Kill on Saturday, January 13th, with a second night of action-packed professional wrestling, the Snake Eyes Extravaganza Show at the Palms on Sunday, January 14th. The Snake Eyes Extravaganza Show will be taped to air on the company's flagship weekly TV show, Impact, airing every Thursday night on Access TV. So it looks like Impact will still be retained as the name of their show, just like it used to be, because that was originally the name of the show. It wasn't the name of the company until somehow it got transformed into that. But now we're going back to the original name of TNA, and Impact will serve as the name of their weekly television show. And this is quoted from the president of TNA Wrestling, Scott D'Amore. "We still hear the TNA chants wherever we go. Fans have longed for TNA Wrestling, so that's what we're bringing back in 2024. TNA Wrestling, we're back." Tickets for both Hard to Kill on January 13th and the Snake Eyes Extravaganza Show on January 14th will be on sale Friday, November 4th at www.impactwrestling.com. Company officials confirmed that the new year will launch a new look TNA Wrestling that runs from the entrance ramp to turnbuckles in the ring to a larger, more prestigious venues and much, much more. Further details on the TNA Wrestling return will be revealed on Tuesday, October 24th, when Scott D'Amore sits down with an exclusive interview with Tom Hannafin that will air live on Impact's Facebook page starting at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. The Q&A will include questions from worldwide pro wrestling media. TNA Wrestling launched in the summer of 2002 and has long been known as the most innovative professional wrestling company in the world. TNA is known for the high-risk, action-packed X-Division matches that have run with one simple motto: it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Stars of the X-Division have included Chris Sabin, its current champion, with a record 10 title reigns, former first-ever X-Division champion and current WWE superstar AJ Styles, along with Jay Lethal, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams, Frank Kazarian, and Trey Miguel, among others. TNA is also the home of the prestigious Knockouts division, widely regarded as the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. The Knockouts division features Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James, Jordynne Grace, Giselle Shaw, Masha Slamovich, Killian King, Jessica, and Courtney Rush, among others. Legendary past knockouts include Hall of Famer Gail Kim, Hall of Famer Awesome Kong, The Beautiful People, Taya Valkyrie, ODB, Tara, Tracy Brooks, the current and new Hall of Famer, and so many others. That is right, guys. That was from the desk of TNA Wrestling itself. TNA is back. Hashtag TNA is back. Hashtag TNA. Hashtag TNA Wrestling. That's really cool to see, guys. TNA is coming back. Some other big news in the world of professional wrestling. I spoke about this last week, I believe it was last week's episode of my show, that Billy Corgan had announced that he had gotten 2 television deals for the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, that will be returning to television, and it was revealed just 5 days ago, right after my show aired, of course, that the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, has signed 2 TV deals with the CW Network. That's right, CW Network, famously known as the network that had all the DC superhero shows at one time. It had Smallville, it had The Flash, it had Arrow, it had Legends of Tomorrow, it had Black Lightning, Supergirl. It was the hub for all of DC's flagship television programs. Superman, and I believe, is still on there. But now, National Wrestling Alliance will be one of the flagship shows of the CW network. One of the main cable networks, CW, will be hosting NWA Power, as well as a reality show about the backstage ongoings in the NWA. The logistics are still being worked out, and an official announcement for the network, or from the network, is expected soon. But this is a huge win for NWA Power and the NWA itself. Power will be pre-taping in 2 to 4 episode blocks, just like Impact does. The move is expected in 2024, and immediately puts NWA on the map, as it is about to become the number 3/number 2, possibly, most viewed weekly wrestling program in the United States. So, man, 2024 is big, guys. You got the WWE taking SmackDown and NXT. NXT is staying there, excuse me, but it's taking SmackDown to the USA Network from Fox in the fall of 2024. AEW is still on TNT and TBS, unless things change. You got Impact / TNA going to be, TNA is coming back from the dead, airing live every week, airing every week on Thursdays on Access TV, and now you have CW Network is going to be showcasing the National Wrestling Alliance. The NWA is going to be back on television for the first time in decades. Like, it's crazy. What a time to be a wrestling fan, guys. What an absolute time to be a wrestling fan. Big news coming out of SmackDown last Friday night at the main event, after the main event of SmackDown Women's Champion Io Sky successfully defending her WWE Women's Championship, her WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte was suffering a beatdown at the hands of Io and Bayley of Damage Control, while their other Damage Control buddy Dakota Kai watched on with glee. It came the return of the EST of the WWE. Bianca Belair came back to a huge ovation. It was so great to see Bianca back on television. The crowd still loves her. She saved Charlotte from a beatdown. Bianca Belair still a big star. It was nice to see her come back, and I'm sure this will lead to, it'll probably be announced this Friday on SmackDown. It'll probably end up being Io and Bayley going 2-on-2 against Charlotte and Bianca in Saudi Arabia. That's just my premonition. I'm just saying that. I don't know for certain if that's what's going to happen. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. Another one of my news articles that I have here that I always discuss with y'all is actually, so that probably won't be happening. Maybe we'll get Bayley and Bianca going one-on-one with each other, because it was announced that Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, and Io Sky, the WWE Women's Champion, will not be on the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, as WWE is going to be holding a live event the same day as Crown Jewel in Rochester, New York, and both superstars will be defending their titles on that show. So some talent will be in Saudi Arabia, while the other talents will be here, still in the United States, putting on a show in Rochester, New York. Ring of Honor's third and final pay-per-view of 2023, Final Battle, was announced by Ring of Honor, and it will take place Friday, December 15th in Garland, Texas. And it is going to be live from the Curtis Colwell Center. Tickets are on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at rohtix.com. That's rohtix.com. And it will be airing exclusively on Ring of Honor Honor Club. So this pay-per-view will not be on pay-per-view. You have to subscribe to Ring of Honor's Honor Club to be able to watch Ring of Honor Final Battle. Yeah. Alright, that's a little odd, but okay. Alright, well, let's go back. Okay, so this is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt, but I believe it could happen because WWE has fuck you money, and I believe they could do this. So, reportedly, WWE is nearing a deal to pay Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous, if not the most famous, football players in the entire world, $40 to $50 million. Let me repeat that. $40 to $50 million for a single appearance at WWE Crown Jewel. This is not for him to wrestle a match. This is not for him to get involved in any way, shape, or form. This is just to appear at the event. They want to pay him $40 to $50 million just to appear at Crown Jewel. Wow. That's insane. And you know why that's insane? Because only the number one wrestling company in the world could do some shit like that. You hear that, Tony? Go fuck yourself. Fucking Tony Khan, douchebag. This is some interesting news. For the first time in 10 years, not a single member of the Four Horsewomen made the top 10 of Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 250 women's wrestlers list. That means not Charlotte, neither Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, neither Bayley, nor the current NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch made the top 10 of the PWI top 250 women's wrestlers. And this is the top 10. For Impact/TNA, Jordynne Grace. At number 9, the former NWA Women's World Champion, Camille. At number 8, the former NJPW Strong Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. Former Impact/TNA Women's Champion, Deonna Purrazzo. The current Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, Athena. From Stardom, Tom Nakano. From AEW, Jamie Hayter, the former AEW Women's Champion. Former SmackDown Raw Women's Champion, the longest reigning champion in that title's history, Bianca Belair at number 3. At number 2, the current NJPW Strong Women's Champion, Julia. And number 1, the current reigning defending WWE Women's World Champion, Mommy, that's right, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley tops the list of the 250 women's wrestlers from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Excuse me. So congratulations to Mommy Rhea Ripley for topping that list. Gunther has reached another milestone as Intercontinental Champion. Not only does he hold the current longest reigning Intercontinental Champion record in the company, but now he has hit the big round number as of yesterday. Well, today technically would be the 501st day, but yesterday he hit 500 days as Intercontinental Champion. Today marks the 501st day as Intercontinental Champion, so congratulations to the Ring General Gunther. Got to give it up to Gunther, man. He's an Australian assassin. Excuse me, not Australian. Oh, I'm so dumb. Austrian assassin. That guy is fucking awesome, and I would love to see him have a big match with somebody at WrestleMania this coming year, for sure. PCO, the former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, has re-signed with TNA. So PCO is here to stay. I know his contract was coming up on Halloween this year, but apparently Scott D'Amore and company were able to come to terms with PCO, and he has re-signed with the company. And don't forget, I already mentioned this, and I actually have. Man, I wish I could show you guys the picture of this new arena, the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, where TNA will be holding their Hard to Kill pay-per-view in January. The event looks really great. I mean, the actual venue looks amazing. It's big, it's wide, it's open. It still has that intimate feel, though, that you get from a lot of the Impact's current shows. So I feel like, yeah, it's going to be a great turnout. I feel like they will sell this out. I really hope they do, man. I want to see Impact/TNA continue to succeed and rebuild. They're doing some of the greatest stuff right now on television. I would watch them and have watched them over AEW many times. So I say congratulations to TNA. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep chugging along. Keep grinding, and they may surpass AEW. One can only hope. Some more big news. 3 talents who were featured in recent WWE tryouts will be reporting back to the Performance Center in January after they finish up the remaining independent bookings. Apparently, they have all been offered developmental deals with the WWE. Jay Malachi, who's been seen on AEW and Ring of Honor in the past. Lucky Ali, and the brother of current NJPW wrestler Dave Finlay and son of WWE legend Finlay, Brogan Finlay, who has wrestled for GCW and others on the independent scene. Brogan Finlay will be assigned to a WWE deal. So we got a second-generation superstar in the mix and 2 new superstars heading to the developmental system, to the Performance Center. So congratulations to Brogan Finlay, Lucky Ali, and Jay Malachi on receiving WWE contracts. I look forward to some good things from you guys. Can't wait to see what they have in store. So, due to increased demand, because they had already sold out the Allstate Arena in Chicago, WWE has increased the capacity for Survivor Series in Chicago next month due to an overwhelming demand. They have increased the current setup to 15,300 and plus after listening to fans asking for the stage to be downsized. So the reason why the stage was going to be taking up a lot of the seats, because it was going to be massive, it was going to be blocking out anyone from sitting in those seats. But now WWE is going to be downsizing the stage size, which increases the amount of tickets that can be sold to the event. And boom, we already had a sellout, and now we have a chance to sell it out twice. So, man, WWE just swinging their big dick energy around, guys. They're like, oh, you guys want more seats? Okay, we'll just make the stage smaller. One of the biggest stories that came out of AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday was that the WWE Hall of Famer, the legend himself, the man they call Sting, has officially announced his impending retirement. So, I know Sting announced his retirement many years ago whenever he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and that was due to medical reasons. Sting apparently was able to rehabilitate himself to the fact that he was able to be cleared and wrestle for AEW after his WWE contract had expired. And Sting has been doing some really out there stuff in AEW. Excuse me. I've been a fan of most of it. I do believe that at his age, he shouldn't be like putting his body on the line like he does with some of the crazier spots that he's been doing. But you know, I'm not a living legend like Sting. Sting has always been one of my favorites, especially back during the Monday Night Wars. That was always one of my favorite things, was to see Sting descending from the rafters to attack the NWO on the end of Nitros on many Monday nights. So Sting holds a special place in my heart. He's definitely one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, for sure. And it will be sad to see him hang up his boots, but I have to give him credit and say, you know, that's awesome, because he's actually going to be doing it on his own terms. And that's what I think every wrestler wants to be able to do, is that they want to be able to hang up the boots where they want, when they want, not be told that they have to do so because of medical reasons and whatnot. So kudos to Sting to be able to do what he's done for Darby Allin's career and many others, those that he's competed against alongside Darby Allin. So Sting said that his time with AEW started at Revolution 2021, and it will also end at Revolution. So in 2024, Revolution is usually around February, March. So after the new year, guys, count your blessings and enjoy your time with the man they call Sting, because come Revolution 2024, that will be the final match of Sting's career. So, guys, yeah, that's all the news. That's the news I have for you. We got some more stuff to go, but take a little break for the upcoming card for Crown Jewel, as well as the upcoming card for the first half of NXT Halloween Havoc, which takes place tonight on USA, and then the second part of Halloween Havoc will be live next week on Halloween itself. NXT Halloween Havoc is going to be a 2-week event. We'll get back into that here shortly. We'll be back, guys.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, everyone? If you're just tuning in, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint, with another new edition of the IE Wrestling Show. If you're listening live, I do appreciate it, guys. Please hit like, subscribe, and please show me some love. Throw a comment in there. Say, hey, man, great show. Just show me some love. If not, if you're listening on the download later on one of our many platforms that we are subscribed on, that'd be Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, any of that good stuff. YouTube, if you're listening on the YouTube channel, please give us a like, a subscribe. Show us some love. And please, show some love to our official sponsor, PlanetJerky.net. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. So we talked about the return of TNA coming in the beginning of 2024 with the first pay-per-view of the year for the company, TNA Hard to Kill, coming to you live from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a way to kick off the reinvention of TNA, or the rejuvenation of TNA, rebirth, so to speak, of TNA, than Sin City itself, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we got some news here. We're going to go into it tonight. Of course, is the part 1 of a 2-week special event on NXT. It's NXT Halloween Havoc, guys. NXT Halloween Havoc is going to be live tonight on the USA Network, coming to you live, of course, from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. SmackDown wrestlers Shotzi and Scarlett will be the hosts for the event. marking the third time Shotzi has hosted this event, the first being in 2020 and the second being in 2022. NXT Halloween Havoc will be a 2-week event, and these are the matches that will take place tonight on the USA Network. It will be the debut of former AEW wrestler, don't call him Brian Pillman Jr., he is now known as Lexis King. The debut of Lexis King will take place tonight at NXT Halloween Havoc. The family, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, will defend the NXT Tag Team titles against Chase University's Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, with Thea Hale and JC Jane in their corner. In a grudge match, a spin the wheel, make the deal, lights out match, Blair Davenport goes one-on-one with G.G. Dolan. That should be an awesome match to see these two young, hungry women's wrestlers on the NXT roster ready to showcase that they're ready for something big in their career, and I think this will showcase both talents of both awesome women's athletes. Hopefully, I'm going for Gigi. She's just a personal favorite of mine for one obvious reason, and for her talent in the ring as well. Fourth match on the card will be a semifinal match in the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. Keelana Jordan versus Ariana Grace. And then in another semifinal match for the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament will be Carmen Prechovic goes one-on-one with Lola Vice, who will have her tag team partner Elektra Lopez in her corner. And the winners of the Grace, Jordan, and Petrovic and Vice matches will have their final match. The NXT Women's Breakout Tournament final match will take place the following week on NXT's Halloween Havoc on Halloween itself next Tuesday. And in another big match, another spin the wheel, make the deal, Devil's Playground match, Roxanne Perez goes one-on-one with Kiana James. And in a grudge match for trying to get revenge on his friend and his protege, so to speak, Robert Stone, a.k.a. Mr. Stone, will go one-on-one with the former NXT World Champion, the man who put his protege on the shelf, Braun Breaker. And in the main event for tonight's NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1, for the NXT Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defends the NXT Women's Championship against Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria. And the main event is already set for next week's event. More matches will be announced for next week's NXT Halloween Havoc tonight. But this is the official card for tonight's NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1. The main event for Night 2, which will take place next week on Halloween, live on the USA Network, live from the Performance Center, will be Ilya Dragunov defending the NXT Championship against Carmelo Hayes. In a third and final rematch between these guys, Carmelo Hayes won the first round. Dragunov was able to capture the NXT Championship, and the second time these two went at it, and now we have the rubber match. Dragunov Hayes 3 takes place on NXT Halloween Havoc Night 2 next week. So tune in tonight and next week, guys, for some awesome wrestling action. Tonight should be a very good show. I'm looking forward to it, as well as next Tuesday's event for sure. Big things coming for the WWE, of course. More matches have been announced for their big return to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. WWE Crown Jewel will take place live Saturday, November 4th from the Mohammed Abdu Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's already a sellout, and this is the reason why. These are the matches that have been announced. This was announced last night on Monday Night Raw. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, will go one-on-one with Senior Money in the Bank and one half of the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest. The WWE United States Championship will be decided member of the LWO, and current United States champion Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, defends the title against Logan Paul. Logan Paul made his return to WWE last Friday night on SmackDown and made his intentions very clear. He's coming for Rey Mysterio, and he wants the United States Championship. Will Logan Paul walk out of Riyadh with the United States Championship, or will Rey Mysterio remind Logan Paul who truly is the Hall of Famer and legend and still remain United States Champion? In a fatal 5-way match for the Women's World Championship, Mommy herself, the voted number 1 out of 250 women's wrestlers by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the current reigning defending Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley defends the title against Raquel Rodriguez, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. And in a big match, this could very well steal the show. I'm looking forward to this. World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth freaking Rollins defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. This should be a very good match. Drew McIntyre, like you can see, the seeds have been planted little by little. It's a slow burn. I feel Drew McIntyre is about to have a huge push as a heel on the Raw and on the Raw brand, and I feel this could start. I feel like it'll officially start at Crown Jewel. Seth has been putting on banger after banger after banger as world champion. Seth won the world championship in Saudi Arabia. He wants to bring the title back to Saudi Arabia and leave Saudi Arabia with the world title just like he did at Night of Champions earlier this year. And in the main event, the Tribal Chief returns to premium live events for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It will be LA Knight. Yeah! It's LA Knight's coming out party, guys. This mega star himself is finally getting his shot for a championship, and he's getting his shot at the Tribal Chief. For the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns defends the title against LA Knight. Yeah! All this comes to you live Saturday, November 4th on Peacock, the premium live event. That is your way of watching it if you're here in the United States. If you're overseas, you can watch it on the WWE Network. It's still a thing by itself. You can subscribe overseas for that. If you're here in the United States, sign up. It's $5 or $6 now. I forget, it went up like $1 or $2. It's not that much, guys. It's cheaper than Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. It's cheaper than all those other streaming services. And you get the full WWE library along with great television shows and movies. Peacock, subscribe to it. And don't miss Crown Jewel, Saturday, November 4th. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us here at the IE Wrestling Show. I do want to let you guys know while I still have time here that starting in just another week, next week will be the last time, unless things change, this will be the last time I will have a Tuesday afternoon/morning show. I am changing shifts at my day job, and we'll now have different days off. So starting, I want to say 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, the IE Wrestling Show will now be live Wednesday mornings, okay, guys? It's going to be live same time, guys. Same time as we are right now. Same Soul Cal Saint time, just going to be a different Soul Cal Saint day. We're moving from Tuesdays to Wednesdays, and the IE Wrestling Show will still be the premier professionally wrestling podcast online today. It is your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. When it gets closer to time, look out for that announcement on the X page at IE Wrestling Show, and look for it to be reposted by the IE Sports Radio page. I am your host, the SoCal Saint. Thanks once again, guys, for tuning in to another awesome edition of the IE Elite Wrestling. Oh God, I clean my tongue. The IE Wrestling Show. I had fun, and I hope you had fun listening. Take care, guys. I will see you guys next week. Same SoCal Saint time for the last time. Same SoCal Saint day for the last day before we move to Wednesdays. Peace, guys. Take care.